Hello. I'm fairly sure that I left this with bales on it, so I'm guessing they exploded. Today's plan is the bales. They need to be dealt with. I'm not doing any sort of fancy intro or anything. And I'm aware that I'm dropping frames left, right and centre. That's my sister watching Netflix causing that. But I can't control that, so you'll have to deal with it. I'll have a word with her later and let her know that that's causing a problem. I don't know why her watching Netflix is killing my internet, but it is. How's Dave today? I'm okay. I got some sleep last night. Didn't sleep very well, but I'm okay other than that. Hey T. How's it going today, dude? Better than my internet, I hope. That glorious 49.6% dropped frames. It's my end. My sister's watching Netflix, and for some reason that kills my internet. Hey, Derp. Alright. Yeah, today is going to be dealing with all of these. That's the entire stream plan. It's also why I'm not too bothered about the lag, because this needs to be done one way or another. $48 gigs? I think you mean megs. Sleep is good. Yeah, about 5.5 hours. It'll have to do me, but so it happens with the cat. Partially my own fault, but still. Hey, Steam fan. That's all pretty good. Why are these bales stuck to this? Okay, that should be them freed. $48 gigs of data. Ah. I'm not surprised, because everything on Netflix is like HD and crap, so makes sense. Derp, did you see the new and interesting way BA have managed to break one of their planes today? If you're still here. Because, they learned a valuable lesson in Cape Town this morning. And the lesson was, if you're gonna get the plane pushed back, make sure the door is closed and the jetway has been removed. Because if you don't do those two very simple, very, you know, very simple steps, ensure door closed and jetway gone, you rip the door off. Yeah, BA have a plane with a door missing now because they pushed back with the door open and the jetway attached. Like, I've done some things in Flight Sim. On the overview map. I don't know what's causing that, Farming Boy. Yeah. It's one of the dumber things I've seen. Also, Alex and I have a running joke where BA keep finding new... I should mention this. BA seem to keep finding new and interesting ways of breaking their planes. Because, like, at least once a month, I find a story online about BA having damage to an aircraft because of something incredibly weird. Maybe asking support's a good idea. If it's still problematic over the weekend, I'll get onto Ash on Monday. I really don't want to be like causing problems. More bales. This might not take the full stream, but I do want to finish at about 7. For no reason other than I'm halfway through some work and I need to get it done before 10. Why 10, you might ask? Because I stopped typewriting at 10, because that thing is loud. Seriously? This back down. This might not take as long as I was fearing. Because I was anticipating this being like a couple of hours of a job. Ooh. Ryanair's tow bar through inch. Yeah, but Ryanair's pilots aren't very well paid. Like, that's the thing. Ryanair just have a bad reputation. BA have a good reputation. So the weird things that keep happening to them is funnier. Also, Ryanair have one of the largest... Would I like to get my hands on Greenlands, or am I going to wait until release? I'll be honest, and this is not showing any disrespect, I have no idea what Greenlands is. I don't tend to follow farm sim news and upcoming mods and maps too much. Like, that might sound really bad. I just, like, it's a UK map. Why is the name familiar? That name is familiar to me. Am I just inventing a map in my head that never existed? I mean, I'll gladly have it if if you're the map maker and you want to send it to me. I'll gladly take it off the map maker, no problem at all. Is it an FS19? I think FS17. Okay. The name rang a bell. Usually when the name rings a bell, it means that it's a mod that existed before. But, you know, if the map maker wants to... If any map maker wants to send me a map, I'd be more than happy to at least have a look at it. I might not necessarily do streams on it, because I'm one of these people that I like having one main map. I've kind of realized that alternating maps like I did in the past, like, it works on YouTube, not so much on Twitch for just the way that I like doing things, and definitely not the way I like doing things. Because I like kind of going slowly, and I have a habit of forgetting where everything is. If you haven't noticed, there's a reason why I'm now just theming areas of the map to be like, here's where all of this stuff goes. It's because I forget where it is otherwise. So don't worry about it, Alex. It's a cracking map. Yeah, like I said, I'll gladly take it if the map maker wants to send it me. I just need to figure out how to put it into the content. Whoa. Really should have had the grabs on that. That's my own fault. An added interesting thing that I've noticed is it might just be... Jonathan! I know I've stopped myself mid-thought there, but... Just... Could you let Peter know that gold member early access thing might go against Giants TOS? Like, it's, I know that paying for mods definitely is. I don't know how, like, early access to a mod would work. on that front. Now, I will also say, I'm not a lawyer, but the way I'd read the TOS is, like, that's very much in the grey area of, like, technically he is selling the mod right now. Yeah, five quid for a map that'll be free. I'm gonna guess with Derp saying that it's definitely against TOS. Derp knows more than I do. I'll be honest, Derp is very much more knowledgeable about how giants see their TOS than me. For reasons. How's the Vulture doing? 75%. Oh, it's finished. After, like, spending the majority of yesterday's stream doing the same small part of the field, it has in fact finished destoning this field. The stones can now go into the dump trailer. I kind of question if that trailer would be able to handle that kind of weight in real life, but I mean, if the game's allowing it. Did it miss any bits? Not really. Technically, yeah. So you don't know what to say? Tell him you've been advised by somebody who most definitely would know what giants would do. That it's a bad idea to have the gold member thing. Because he'd get straight up banned from the mod hub for that, because it is selling mods. Why pay for farm some mods anyway? Well, I mean, there's that too, Alex, yeah. I know that, you know, we pay for mods and flights in the flight sim world. Yeah. Tips and having a Patreon for, like, and here's where you can really work with the way giants have things set up. A Patreon for, like, early access to, like, pictures and videos of the map, perfectly fine. Patreon for early access to the map, not so good. Especially if you're specifically saying that you only get early access if you pay them. If, coincidentally, the map testers all happen to be on the Patreon, I'm not sure how giants would see that, but, you know, that would be a theoretical, don't actually try that way around the... Oh, God. This is full speed now. Hey, Killswitch. This is paying for the Mazda donation bot. We had to get access to them. The thing, the problem isn't that he's using a donation bot. Donations fine, above board. I'm all for that. You know, if you really like maps, please find out if your favorite map maker has a donations link somewhere. Donate to them. Perfectly fine. The issue is putting the mod behind the paywall. Good luck stopping that trailer. It's fine. There's a wall up here I can use. You can also send your favorite streamers some tips. Okay, Jonathan, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Derp is an ambassador. Derp knows what giants think of things. There's a very good reason I'm strongly advising you let him know. Excuse me? No. It's 6,000 liters of stones in. Yeah, this is a much better lime production facility than the multi-production facility. Sweet. They go direct to me, Alex. So, like, full disclosure, if you send a tip through Stream Elements, you're I think 99.5 or something like that. Like, the vast majority of that goes to me, if not all of it. You download the model. If you want the right texture, you have to pay. Oh my god, that's even dumber. And still against TOS. Because that's selling a part of a mod. Selling models is fine. See, they're doing it... Oh god, no, I'm not gonna advise people how to get around the TOS. I'm gonna be a good Giants partner and not advise people on the best way to get around the Giants TOS for mods. Because they'll figure out that trick fairly quickly and put an end to it. And probably argue, in any case, that, well, the spirit of it is you don't sell any part of a mod. Nope. Vomit off. Right. So that's 2 of the big jobs done. Unfortunately, there are many big jobs to go. Actually, 3 big jobs done, because Field 6 is ploughed as well. Well, 2.8. Still need to do the headland on Field 6. Hey, Kirk. Well, that's it, Steam fan. Like, Derp's being nice. Derp's a nice guy. Yeah. There's not going to be shenanigans from him. Because, like, we all understand that modders want to try and get some sort of compensation for their time. And that's completely fine, but maybe just cat noise or sprinkler noise? What are you doing, Alex? Sprinkler, please, because I hear enough of cats. If you're doing a noise. Can you hang on? Can you set custom noises on that damn thing? Because I want to make one that's just like really dumb that people are going to use because it's me. By the way, I got an email from Twitch today. It was like, we've reached an agreement with Universal Music. I'm like, oh, cool. They've reached a licensing agreement. The agreement was that Universal Music would effectively, like, act in good faith with DMCA takedowns, which they're legally supposed to anyway. Like, the agreement Twitch came to with UMG was literally like, yeah, we'll... you have to sell your soul. Also, we'll then do our basic legal obligations with regards to DMCA takedowns, or DCMA, whatever it is. Right. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Yeah, we've got about a trailer load of bales left in the field. And these are going to be straight sold for the simple reason that these don't work with any of the auto load stuff, and they're a bit heavy. Let's just do it this way. Right, nearest, actually, best price for bales is where? Straw. Is at the Allsphere store, bale sell point. Which is where? Right down the bottom. Hey, JW Poe. Cheers for the tier 1 sub, my dude. Much appreciated. Oh, this poor deer. Oh, 100% engine load. Oh no. Oh no. This is gonna be a fun trip, guys. I've just seen where the sell point is. I've just realized where it is. Definitely getting on Calmsden after work. It is a dang good map, dude. Some weird issues that could easily have been fixed with a bit more testing before it was sent off, but it's a good map. Can you join me? This is single player, I'm afraid. Hope you like crawling uphill at an incredibly slow speed. I think you have to place it yourself, dude. I think you should place the manure down yourself. I've placed it down myself in the hopes that it'll work. Oh god. Just gonna let you see the glorious speed we're doing here. That is really annoying, yeah. There we go. Oh, that was genuinely painful. Yeah, that hit is a touch extreme for this game, as it turns out. We're at minus 1% engine load at the moment. Might disappear messing with mod. Oh god, that sounds like a bad idea. I meant to cheat money away. Whoops. Actually, let's just go JS money add negative 96,700,000. Here we go. We're down to a sane money amount. So I don't think we're going to need any more money soon. How do we get 102% engine load? Is this a space shuttle? Throttling up to 102%? Should explain that a bit more. In spaceflight, engines have like a maximum throttle rating, and they get that when they're designed. So something like the space shuttle main engine was designed for a certain amount of throttle, so to produce a certain amount of power. As it was developed further with the space shuttle, they managed to get up to, I think it was 102%. And now for the Space Launch System, SLS, NASA's big orange moon rocket that's using the same engine, they've got it up to, I think it's 107% now of the original rating. Where's Chris B when you need him? There we go. If you didn't know, by the way, if you're new, you didn't know this before, I like space and space things. Do I have anything space related on my desk? No. I do have a 2006 McLaren though. Farming boy, do you know, is there a, here's a space nerd question. Do you know if there's a road closure today? Because I know that Mondays and Tuesdays were cancelled. I didn't hear anything about today's. Checking, yeah, go on to the Sheriff's Office website. El Plan is in action. All cancelled for this week? Like, what's the last date on the cancellation list? I'm not entirely surprised, because nothing's on a launch pad at the moment. There is the interesting thought, Farming Boy, that Boca Chica may end up being a testing ground as opposed to a launching site. Tomorrow, Friday the 28th. So, okay, so nothing's gonna explode this week then. They may be using Boca Chica as a testing and development site because those bales look odd. Yeah, I accidentally made small bales. These are 1.8 meters long. I made them by mistake. I'm thinking about stopping them and everything. Yeah, I mean... It might be surprising to people who've seen me in certain moods, but I don't like being an ass. Could they use the oil rigs to launch them? Yeah. But Farming Boy, the question then would be, where do they build them before putting them on the oil rigs? Almost as if I already know where their backup plan is. And I have a very great hope that I know what their backup plan is. Because they do have a backup plan. And I hope my guess on what they're planning on doing is right. So, SpaceX have a facility in Florida in Roberts Road, which is just down the road from the Kennedy Space Center. They've got plans, permission from Kennedy Space Center, because Kennedy Space Center owns the land, to build a new development in Roberts Road. A giant building that is roughly the same size as the tent farm in Boca Chica. Oh, it gets better than that, Farming Boy. As well as that, there's two big buildings that are of unknown purpose right now. And on top of that, you know at Kennedy Space Center, there's that gigantic white building, the big tall one, the famous one. 4 bays in there. 2 of them are being used for SLS in the VAB. There's whispers that another one has been leased. Now, you don't really want to be using the giant vehicle assembly building unless you're launching something nearby. You don't want to be using it unless you're launching something that's fairly big. And New Glenn has its own launch complex and buildings away from Kennedy Space Center. SpaceX is getting a new pad built at the location of the original plan for Launch Complex 39C. And they are also building a new pad on 39A for Starship. Now, having 2 launch pads at one spaceport sounds like something that would require, you know, a lot of output. Maybe something that might require a transporter of some description. Possibly one that crawls. It would require a very tall building to put the rockets together. Vehicle assembly building is it's tall enough to handle a Starship. And if they really want to go ham, vehicle assembly building was designed to be extended upwards and outwards. There's more than enough space for another 4 high bays in there. Well, not in there. They'd have to actually extend the VAB building. But, SpaceX could build Starship in the VAB and roll it out of the VAB. Saturn V style. What are those NFT things? Twitch calls them channel points. I call them NFTs because they've got just about as much worth as a real thing. The real ones. They're used for various things on streams that I can choose what they are. I can't remember what the NFT rewards are at the moment. You can make me drink, and speaking of that, Jonathan did spend 250 NFTs on making me drink. So there we go. They're largely pointless derp, which is why I've called them NFTs. They have just as much worth and use as a real NFT. Also, the logo for the NFTs that I created, that is a real NFT that I took into a photo editor and ruined. I did the unthinkable and hit right-click save on an NFT. Derp, how did... There we go. There's the cool spud. Yeah, the cool spot ends up really good every single time. You can also squish them, I think. I don't know if they're making plans to do that, but that's a theoretical use. And another theoretical use is sending it up into about a 500-kilometer orbit, picking up one very large thing to be put into a museum. Because I would love for SpaceX to do a Hubble Space Telescope return mission. Screw servicing it. Bring it back to Earth. Hang it in the Smithsonian. Or the ISS. The ISS is too big. And I'm not sure the Russians would be very happy with SpaceX going and collecting their modules. But for sure, parts of the international segment could be returned to Earth on Starship. Or at least theoretically. I don't know about practicalities. The Russians are leaving the ISS, but the Russian segment will remain their property. Like, they're planning on breaking off part of the Russian segment to form part of their new space station. An American company, Axiom Space, is planning on doing something similar. They're sending up a module. I think the Axiom 1 module is due to go up sometime next year. It's either next year or 2024. This has gone way faster than I'd anticipated. Downside, and there is a downside, is now it's going to be very much plowing and destoning. Probably very nice to see back on Earth, for sure. Like, it does belong in a museum. Hey, another thing that would be really cool if they could find out where the hell it is if they brought the Snoopy module back from Apollo 10. Because they've figured out fairly recently that might still be in lunar orbit. Snoopy wasn't a module. Oh. Yeah, if they could go find Snoopy and figure out where that is. Because if they brought that, I've got goosebumps just thinking about this idea. If they knew where Snoopy was and could get it back to Earth, that's not just like a random bit of a Saturn V. That's a LEM. That's a moon lander from Apollo that's been to the moon. How cool would it be if they found that, brought it back down to Earth, put it in a museum? Also, they'd get a really good idea of what kind of happens over a very long period. Save the lander. There's a lot of stuff they could do moon-wise. Like, I'd like to see NASA send down a lunar rover, a robotic one, to visit parts of the Apollo 12 through 17 landing sites. Why not Apollo 11, you say? Apollo 11 landing site is a historic stone and should be left alone forever. Water helped, but suspect it was mini migraine. Distinctly possible. But, like, one cool bit of science NASA could do is send rovers to the moon landing sites, with the exception of 11 and obviously 13 because they never landed, and just see what the hardware they left on the moon looks like now. Because it's been, 50 odd years, slightly more. And if NASA's planning on building a permanent outpost, it'd be kind of useful to know what happens after 50 years of lunar exposure. Mars rovers would be cool to bring back. Yeah. There's a lot that'd be cool to bring back. One thing that I'm glad isn't being brought back is an N1. Voyager 1, that ain't never coming back, farming boy. Good God, no. You'd have to go so fast to even catch up with it. Like, the Voyagers are never coming back. They're gone forever. Okay, let's just immediately go down into range 1 here. Hope you guys like going slowly uphill because that's what we're doing. Yeah. This is gonna take a while. just want to prove that I got cruise control on. So I'm not doing anything that's causing this. I'm not playing a weird macro. I've just got cruise control on. This is top speed. Welcome back, farming boy. We're still going slowly up a hill. That hill is possibly a bit steep. So, what about a used fuel tank from shuttle? They're all gone. The shuttle external tanks, farming boy, were intentionally launched on suborbital trajectories. Did you know you can make hard drives make clicking noises with a speaker magnet? Alex, what the hell are you doing? You can see an 8R instead of 7. Yeah. Although, to be honest, if I'm upgrading to something big, if I'm upgrading to something big to kind of improve on the McCormick, because the McCormick's technically a medium tractor. If I'm going for something in the large category, I'm going for an Axion, or maybe a Fendt 900 or 1100. Like I'd be going for something properly big. You're not that stupid. And yet you convinced everybody you were. I'm not sure what that says about you, or Farming Boy, or me. But you had us convinced. just putting that out there. Hang on a sec, I actually need to do something real quick. Where is it? I need to put on my bionic wrist. My wrist is getting sore. Assuming I can remember I put it on. Screw it. I'll put it on after the stream. It's behind me somewhere. Oh, I know where it is. Is it weird that I simultaneously love and hate that Farm Sim now saves the camera positions? Because, like, it's great, because if you're setting something up, you can just flick between two cameras and be like, look at the left, now look there, look at the full thing, now look at the... That's right, Dave. Look in this direction, now here, now here, now here, now here. But it's also really annoying, because if you leave the camera in a stupid position, it's going to stay in that stupid position. Accidentally turned off cruise control. Right, next job is going to be in the McCormick. Because we need to finish ploughing field 6 and get the Valmet into field 6 to de-stone it. And I'm hoping... Yeah. I'm hoping that it'll Didn't need to come this way. Oh well. I'm hoping the Valter Valmet will behave this time. Actually, I can park the bale trailer over here. This kind of works. McCormick. There we go. So I just need to finish off field 6 here. There's no boy's name that starts with C and ends in L. In N. Calvin. Kieran. Quidine. Kevin spelt wrong. So some people think some people are wrong. Like, that's not even an opinion thing. They're straight up wrong. Farming boy, let's be fair. Some people think the Earth is flat, and the COVID vaccine contains 5G chips. Let's not go there. I mean, flat Earth, to be fair, I can understand why they believe that. Because you look at the horizon on any given day, it's flat. I can see why that's a belief. The bit that they're forgetting is it appears flat because the curvature of the Earth is so widespread that it's not actually visible to the naked eye. And as F chat's very bad at that sometimes. Any space chat will have flat earthers claiming that NASA and rocket companies are a hoax. It's comical. And then you'll get the polar opposite where it's like, this is the best thing in the world ever. And I'm just like, I mean, it's really good, but there have been better things. Ah, Derp, I see you believe in the moon. It's very brave of you to admit that. The way to deal with crazy conspiracy theories is invent one that's even crazier. The problem with that is it sometimes backfires and people believe in your even crazier, completely doesn't make sense and was intended to not make sense conspiracy theory. Like, have you guys heard the one about the birds? There's a conspiracy theory, and I'm not making this up. This is a legitimate conspiracy theory. There's a conspiracy theory that birds are fake and were replaced in the 60s by robots. So the government could spy on you. That is a completely legitimate and, well, I say legitimate. It's a completely real conspiracy theory. FBI and CIA start knocking on my front door. Dude, if they've not knocked on my front door after I've been looking up missiles and how rocket engines work, they're not going to knock on my door for anything. Derp, that really falls flat with Flash. If you put something on her head, she doesn't notice you put something on her head until it falls, and then she attacks it. Also, she loves tinfoil. Her favorite toys are balls of tinfoil. Did I ever tell you how mental Flash is? Like, she is not a normal cat. She plays with tinfoil. You've all seen those viral videos of like people putting tinfoil on their kitchen worktops to scare the cats and whatnot. Nah, Flash doesn't care. What else does she like? Cucumbers. Again, the viral videos of cats being terrified of cucumbers. Yeah, no, not Flash. Hey, Duff Ethan. Like, she's scared of me for some reason. I intimidate her. Possibly because she gets consequences when she starts acting up around me. Like, I'm not afraid to give out to her, but at the same time, I'm not afraid to praise her and give her attention. So she knows when I give out to her, she's actually in trouble. Right. Up, flip. I know this isn't how you're supposed to plow, by the way. Fully aware of that. Also, don't particularly care. Shall we talk tea again? No, I'm all teed out. I think I actually am as well. Yeah, nope. No tea left. So, let me think here. This is going to require, well, Field 3 is going to need plowing as well. So, this is going to be in Field 3 doing its work on hired worker because I ain't plowing that size of a field manually. The Valtra Valmet's going to be in here on the stone picker, hopefully not being an idiot. And that leaves me dealing with the hay and silage. And also sorting out the top yard. See you, Duff Ethan. This monster's like, have you linked the monitors together, Alex, to make one giant monitor? What have you done? Life-size Big Dave. No. You have a massive 4K one that was too big, but you decided to use it. Okay. Is there 33-inch monitor? Oh, jeez. No thanks. I'm quite happy with my 21.5 inches. Size isn't important, it's what you do with it that matters. And also whether or not it can fit on my desk. So size is somewhat important. I guess. By my own logic. Right. Is there a bigger plow I could use? I'm not going to buy a bigger plow right now, but... Oh, there is. Barely. Oh, no, significantly. Avoid the bush. See, the thing is, if I don't do that, it creates content because I'll be getting angry at the vulture. And complaining about it being stupid. So... Also, there should be enough space. Like, I have noticed that hired workers are able to deal with having a bit less space now. So, I'm hoping that I can see a little gap in my green screen just there. Hang on. There we go. Is the green screen just the perfect size for webcam? Kind of, because of the way that's oriented. It's, just gonna use this piece of paper as a prop. It's kind of this shape, and I have to have it like this. I'd much prefer to have it like this. It's gotta be, like, right behind me, and, at a very specific angle at the moment. I'd love to just... kind of hang it this is gonna sound ridiculous, hang it off the ceiling and have some sort of pulley system to just roll it up at night. See, Farming Boy knows what kind of content he likes. Kind of. Hang on, I'll take a selfie and put it into Discord. It's just a standing peg at the top. No, hang on. Let me take a selfie that includes the top. Okay, it's gotta be... You're gonna get a very... Okay. You're gonna get a very awkward landscape. Oh god, this is the most awkward photo. You're gonna get a really weird aspect ratio photo in Discord in a sec. It's kind of like that, but it's got two pigs. Just bear with. I'll take a better picture after the stream. But that's what the top of it looks like. From where I'm sat without standing up. The top of it is like 7 foot up into the air, so I really have to stretch to get the actual screen dismounted. Alex has been sent the weirdest selfie I'll probably ever take, because it's just like my nose and eyes and then giant white space, effectively. Makes sense. Yeah, it works. Also, PA are so out. They pushed back. Never mind how did they manage that. How did the pushback truck driver not notice that the jetway was still attached. That's literally one of the checks a pushback driver is supposed to do. Like, Alex, you use the toolbar pushback and the 832NX. I'm not sure which one does it, but do you know the way that pushback driver always says all doors and hatches are closed? That's why. That's one of their jobs, is because the pilots can't see the outside of the plane. That's the pushback driver's job. That's the ground crew's job. So there was a litany of failures there. South Africa, actually, Cape Town. Meeting with no biscuits for someone then. I think, Seamfan, it might be a meeting with no job for someone. At the very least, whoever was lead ground crew on that flight is gonna be in big trouble. Because again, they literally have that's their job. Mistakes can be made sometimes. Farming boy, yes. I'm not gonna pretend like, yeah, no, mistakes can be made. The problem is the problem is this happened. See how there's no door there anymore? Like, mistakes can be made. For sure. And they're made basically every day. Ripping a door off an airliner is not a mistake. You know, people are people, mistakes happen, that's fine. Stuff like like, how do I put this? I think that maybe airline pilots with certain airlines are getting a bit burnt out and are making a couple of extra mistakes. Especially in the case of a certain airline that has had far too many near misses on runways lately. Some aerobatics. And perhaps ground crew at certain airports are either a bit burnt out or a bit rusty. Because, like, that's two major ground mistakes in the last couple of months. You wouldn't fly with them now? I wouldn't blame you. Because they're big mistakes and they got lucky twice. Was there a third incident, Dax? Because I don't recall the 777 nosedive. I remember the runway incursion. Like, yeah. Now's not a good time to be flying. Pilots are very tired with certain airlines. And the airline will get blamed because it's their pilots, but well, they should get the blame because they should be giving the pilots more rest. One incursion, one overrun. Yeah. That's two very, very lucky planes. Rare that you get a third. Oh, they did get a third. Yeah. I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to push my luck by flying Emirates at the moment. Because you only get so many free tickets. And they've got 3. Hang on. That is an amazing name. Mamba Gator Simulations. I absolutely love your name. Cheers to the follow. That is an awesome name. Disconnect, please. Right, let's get the least owner and then we'll grab the baby deer. Emirates apparently tell the pilots to fly the instruments over themselves, presumably follow the nav on the flight director before it picked up. But is there not... Like, here's the bit that confuses me about that nosedive incident, because I now remember. I now remember that one. How did they not notice that the altitude was set at 0? Because, like, surely they have somewhere in their checklists where there's a segment that says, you know, altitude check? Perhaps? You've not completed your task. You've not even... You've not done anything. There we go. Oh god, I've hired... Please ignore all the AI workers completing their tasks. That was me having an argument with them. For a second there, I thought it had decided it was finished. Runway checklist before takeoff is V2 speed set, runway heading set, and altitude set. Not necessarily, but it's good practice to do so. Okay. The AI workers have figured out what they're doing. I think. It's time for Baby Deer to do some work. Or at least not 0. Yeah! That's... Alex, it's not even a before takeoff check in a Boeing. It's a before taxi check. It's part of the before taxi flows. And before takeoff flows, for that matter. It's... Why did you do that? Farm sim AI, never ceasing to pleasing. I would guess, Alex, combination of the two. Somewhere in the middle is probably where the explanation is. If you're wondering why I'm going a really long roundabout way to this field, it's because this is the only way to actually get into this field. Close the gate. So this is going to be our field of hay. And the other field is going to be our silage field. I'm kind of thinking now, maybe it would have been a good idea to, instead of getting a forage wagon, just get a bale wrapper for the silage. B2 bombers only ever had one crash. Officially, it's only ever had one crash. The thing about military stuff, farming boys, everything that you hear, it's like, oh, I did not know this. That's the official story they're putting out. It might not necessarily be true. Like, officially the top speed of the SR-71 Blackbird was Mach 3. Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe the SR-71 Blackbird was that slow. Because it could outrun missiles. The missile evasion strategy in an SR-71 Blackbird was to open the throttles. There's no way that I could do that at Mach 3. There's also the fact that the SR-71 Blackbird was made of a special heat-resistant titanium that was intentionally loose on the ground. It leaked fuel on the ground because the airframe was not built to be on the ground. It was built to be going very fast at very high altitudes. That's happened more than once, Steam Fan. Various militaries have had that happen. Exact same, yeah, same reason Concorde has that hat on the flight deck. The very last flight of the Concorde, as they're coming out of Super Cruise, the captain put his hat into a gap that was on the flight deck, knowing that gap doesn't exist on the ground. That hat is still there to this day, completely and utterly jammed in the exact position it was left during the last Concorde flight. Like, that's something that I think is a bit underappreciated, Alex, to be fair. Is like, going supersonic isn't just going fast, it's producing a butt ton of heat. Like, Concorde wasn't painted white because white looks nice. Concorde was painted white because any other paint, any other color of paint, would cause the airframe to melt. Or, at the very least, be at risk of melting. The white paint in Concorde was specifically chosen and designed to reflect the heat that was produced in Mach 2. It's like, there's like, I'm loving following aviation at the moment because there are a couple of, there's at least one supersonic jet and kind of coming close to production at least. And I can tell you right now, everything that Boom Supersonic ever makes will be painted white. Because it, at supersonic speeds, there's enough heat produced to rip paint off planes if it's the wrong color. You definitely won't see a black supersonic civilian jet. Wrong screws were used. Yeah, you can, like, see if you can't make mistakes in aviation. And also, everything in aviation is meticulously logged. You use 3 of these little screws. Yeah, three of these. They're logged. The exact dimensions are logged. The part number in your maintenance hangar is logged. Exactly where they are in the plane is logged. So if something goes wrong in that area, they can just look at the maintenance log and say, oh, it's had 3 of these screws here. These screws aren't supposed to be in the right place. Or these screws aren't supposed to be there. Why were those screws there? Goes to the maintenance guy. We were out of the correct screws, so I just used these because they were close enough. Nope. Wrong answer. You wait until the correct screws are there. That's what happened at the BA incident. Is the maintenance guy used similar screws because they were out of the correct ones, and it almost always happens. They use the wrong part because they're out of the correct one, and the one that they're putting in is close enough. There was an incident with an ATR that was somewhat similar years back. An ATR 72 had an ATR 42 fuel monitoring system put in, and it ran out of fuel, or it might have been the other way around. It ran out of fuel because the fuel system was wrong for the plane. It was showing the wrong value. Also, which of the hired workers is having an issue? It's probably the one in field 3 that's kind of worked itself into a corner. Let me blink back. Yeah, that'll be a situation where you do an emergency descent to 10,000 feet, because you can at least breathe at 10,000 feet. Right. Kind of thinking ahead here. What if we don't get enough bales out of... Well, we're going to get enough bales out of this field. I'll make sure of that. I'm going to throw auto load onto the trailer. The bale trailer. Because it makes more sense than picking it all up by hand. It's actually why I'm, after changing balers, I want to have the option to auto load. Was that the... Yeah, that was the plane where the pilot got sucked out the window. Effectively. That's also the reason that you're encouraged to have your seatbelts on and fastened through all phases of flight unless you absolutely need to stand up, because If there's an explosive decompression, you're getting sucked out of the plane if you're not strapped down. Thankfully, explosive decompressions are incredibly rare. But it's aviation. You gotta account for everything that could happen, not everything that will happen. That's why there are life jackets under seats and stuff like that. The plane's not gonna go into the water anytime soon, but it might. It could. In very specific circumstances, and in those very specific circumstances, hello, Sully and Miracle on the Hudson, you're gonna want to have a life jacket ready. What about using the bale slashers machine? I really that wouldn't be a bad idea. Say well mush, no. Wait. Nuts. The bale sauce. I mean, that's not a terrible idea, honestly. I love how this little deer just screams its way around. It's not going anywhere very fast, but it's making a lot of noise while it does so. How much would that be? Be in baling technology? Oh, bale wrappers. So it's the hybrid X extractor. 34.9. And how much could I get from selling the forage wagon? 57.9. What was the rocket that lost, that caught fire on the pad and the crew sadly lost their lives? Apollo 1. It was Saturn 1B using... No. There we go. Using the Mark 1 Apollo capsule. And they found a multitude of issues with it as a result of the fire. So, like, downside, those 3 astronauts sadly did lose their lives. Upside, the Mark II Apollo capsule, after a delay to completely redesign the capsule, was much safer. Yeah, the lessons learned from Apollo 1 are, you know, kind of are still being used today. Yeah. So should be able to do everything but bail. Think about one's way of LAS now. Nope. Launch escape system was always in rockets. Mercury had launch escape. Gemini had ejector seats, which honestly would have killed the astronauts had they ever been used. Apollo was always planned to have a launch escape system. The space shuttle did for the first few flights. They had ejector seats, which again probably would have killed the astronauts. But launch escape systems are nothing new, Farming Boy. And the bomb 122. Cheers for the T1 sub, dude. 2 months. Much appreciated. Helps me a lot. Genuinely. It lets me buy shiny things. Which, granted, the shiny things are usually for the flight sim streams, but they're still shinies. And they they help me feel good, so they count, right? That helps us get helping out the stream. Although I do need to purchase a thing for my typewriter. Whatever the next Twitch payout comes, I need to buy a service manual for my typewriter. Need to do some repairs, and I don't know how to take it apart, and I don't want to start taking it apart without having a service manual. Because then I can give it like a full correct service. And look into getting the correct tools to do so, or at least improvising the correct tools. Thinking the yard so small gives me an option for bale storage outside with the sausage. I was thinking Steam Fan. Boomer, yes. But again, it makes me happy, so I don't care. Like, I don't care what people think. It cheers me up and it makes me feel good. It's not hurting anybody, so other people's opinion, it might be hurting me, but that's my problem. Not hurting you, not affecting you. Your opinion is invalid. What I was thinking, Steam Fan, was there's a reason. Hang on, let me do a run and show and tell here. There is a reason that I have sheds over here. Specifically, this big one. This big shed can hold bales very easily. As can this big shed. So what I'm thinking is actually bring the bales up here, store them, stack them into these sheds, and ignore the cow yard as a storage area for the bales, because there isn't enough space for it. Oh, that's kind of neat. So, fert, water, and barley will be useful. Manure, liquid manure, and digestate will be useful. Hay, potato, side. Oh god, I need to do potatoes. I'll buy a small field and do potatoes in it. I'll also buy a big potato harvester, because we've been through enough potato pain in the past year. Namely, the shenanigans I pulled on, was it Shellington? Whatever the last FS19 map I did was. The shenanigans I pulled on that map where I decided to do one giant field of potatoes. And ended up with 1,000,000 liters. So yeah, I'm gonna do small field of spuds and get big harvester to do it. Find a world downloader, but another one you like. Yeah, like that'll probably be a better idea, Farming Boy. Like I said, if it's still weird on Saturday, I'll temporarily op you and keep an eye on the server. Because it's not that I don't trust you, it's more a case of I don't want you breaking everything by being an op. I know you know what you're doing as an op, so that scares me. And I may look into Minecraft Plan B, seeing as that server is very much dead. And there is a Plan B, and it won't be streamed. So I don't know what you can and can't do. That's what scares me. Killed off by children. Alex, you know what Plan B is, though. Plan B should be much better. It would require me to try and magically create some free time to actually do it, but I mean, I could just replace my nighttime logistics raids with Plan B. Or do it of a Saturday when I'm not streaming. Because that's something I don't want to stream, I don't want to publicize it. Or I guess I could, but just say, yeah, no, I'm not giving out the IP. Because that's going to be a much more private server. Much more select in who goes on, because I wanted to have a kind of a master plan. Yeah, fair enough, Farm Boy. I'll ask those involved in the secondary server what they think of you joining, in case you want to join it, and if they all agree, then I'll let you in on the secret. And the plan. The master plan. The Ferrari master plan. This is Spinola. Oh wait! Ah! Where is it? No, that's not it. Did I get rid of it? Hang on. Oh, I think I got rid of it. Yeah, I got rid of it. Oh. Oh well. Baby deer suits this job then. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of forcing it to do this. I'm quite happy with the baby deer just being a yard tractor over at the cows for, like, smaller jobs. But it can do this, so I'm making it do it. It's earning its keep this way. Plus, it kind of feels like a waste of a bigger tractor to just have it on a windrower. Comedy is, this can't get a front loader, so I can't even use it to, like, deal with the weirdness the cows might do. Matt is selling 3D printed Pripyat signs. Oh my god. And then garden graphics. I might have a word with Matt about something. I want something 3D printed. I may have a word with him. Because I trust him to create a reliably good 3D print. If he's doing it himself. Safe stray on the big ones? Yeah. It's more a case of the big ones are kind of, well, big ones would look okay on this, but eh. Mohawk68, cheers for the follow, my dude. Many appreciation is happening. Right, we're at 57 grand. I forgot to buy a slurry spreader. I've just realised. Right, so most of you probably have a bit more time in FS22 than me, so I'm going to ask an FS22 question here about mechanics. Might be a bad idea because I tend to be the one in the stream that knows the ins and outs of the game, but I'm going to ask anyway. Is there any benefit or downside to you? Is there any downside to using slurry and solid manure over, like, solid liquid fertilizer? Because, like, other than the amount of time that solid and liquid manure takes. Kelsey 001, cheers for the follow. You're 2,000 hours in Flight Sim. I mean, Alex, I'll be honest, I'm not surprised. If I had more time, I'd probably have a stupid number of hours in Flight Sim myself. Wasn't I waiting for an Abbey Slurry tank? Yeah, but I want to use the slurry in the meantime. I can always swap to an Abbey Slurry tank. When one comes out. If one comes out. But my kind of pressing thing is, like, I want this to be a self-sufficient farm. Now, I know I'll need to make fertilizer anyway, but I won't need to make it. Like, here's the way that I'm thinking about things. This farm, the aim is to be self-sufficient, which is why I've got the multi-production facility. Only difference in the story, you can apply double applications to get 100% in one go. So there's actually an upside to using slurry. Thank you, Mohawk. Yeah. Because I need to use slurry to make fertilizer with the multi-production silo. And I was just wondering if there's any bonuses or downsides, so yeah. So Dave.exe is thinking. So if I make a small amount of fertilizer at the multi-production silo that I can use to feed back into it to get seeds, to get seed production going, but use like the vast majority of the slurry as fertilizer by itself, then I think that's the most efficient way to do that. Because then I could argue as well that the seeds are actually organic, and you could, in theory, run an organic farm that is 100% self-sufficient. Yeah, Discord, the API broke last night, Steam fan. That's what happened. It didn't break for long for me, but I know there were people saying that it was like a couple of hours down for them. It's why I always say with technical stuff that your mileage may vary, your experience may be different. Because, like, my Discord came back super fast. But then, Buzz was saying his took like 2 hours to come back, and all you could see was me saying Buzz at him for 2 hours. I went on a weird gift tirade in Dagwan's Discord last night. That was just before just before Discord went down. So while it was down, all people could see was my weird gifts. Which was glorious. I unintentionally did a very, very long, low effort troll. I love it when things work out like that, though. Where it's like you do something stupid and then, like, something stupid that's not going to be embarrassing. And it's just like something breaks and then it's just there for a while to annoy people. It's great when the API has a turn. It's interesting. I mean, it's fun when services go down, watching people panicking on Twitter. Because, like, let's face it, I'm very online. I'm almost always available on Discord. If Discord's down, I just do something else. It doesn't ruin my day. I don't panic. I don't get upset. It's just like, oh, well, that's a mild inconvenience. Guess I might as well be productive for a while. That's what I did. I did some work while Discord was down. I am aware of the time, by the way. I just want to try and get the... Actually, if I leave it I'll at least know what the hell I'm doing when I start up again tomorrow. Yeah, let's leave this here in the fields mid-windrow. That is going to do it for today. Hope you enjoyed. Yes, I do have this set up on a hotkey on my stream deck. Where's Edge? There we go. And yes, I use Edge unironically. You can trust me or not, whatever you want to think. Doesn't bother me. Let's see who's live. Nope, that's Discord. Where's the stream? There we go. GD and Twarog. I'll send you guys over to GD, because GD's a smaller streamer than Twarog. Bigger than me, but smaller than Twarog. No, that's Discord again, Dave. So that's Ray GD. The plan for tomorrow is to finish windrowing. I can tell you already what my stream plan is for tomorrow, finish windrowing. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Yes. Finish windrowing, get the bales done in those two fields, and over to the storage yard that I've made. Hopefully that won't take the full time of the stream, because I also want to try and get time moving forwards and get the cows fed up a bit more. But that's going to be a problem for another day. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.